Hey guys, it's Steve from the Tech Buzz Gaming. Welcome to Game Time. We're here to talk about something very interesting. I want to talk to you guys today about video game collecting. Video game collecting is something that a lot of us do and a lot of us don't do. Some guys would rather emulate, they'd rather get like a multi-cart to have every game and play on original hardware. But one of the things that I like to do is I like to collect physical cartridges, whether to have them here on my shelf here in my game room or to just play the original cartridges. I mean, there's something just about pulling out a cartridge, putting it in your system, and playing it. So today I want to discuss this a little bit with you, the audience here on Game Time. Now, I know we're going to be starting a show coming up here in October called Console Wars, but I want to discuss video game collecting and what you're collecting for. A lot of content creators out there have told me that I'm crazy for collecting for the NES. As you guys know, I'm trying to collect for the complete North American collection. I've even had guys like Big Reese in the chat room send me in some games, as well as a few other viewers, to add to my collection just to have them here in my collection. But what makes collecting special? That's the question that I want to pose to everyone out there. If you collect for a specific system, why do you collect for it? I know for me personally, I can look at some of these games that I have here in my collection. Take Super Mario Bros. 2, for example. This game, I remember, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and I remember we got the Nintendo for Christmas, and Easter that year, my parents got us Super Mario Bros. 2, and we beat this game 20 ways from Sunday with every character. This was a game that we really enjoyed, and I remember my brother and I waking up at 4 in the morning and turning the TV down low on a Saturday and playing the game, or even before school, we would turn the volume down so my parents wouldn't hear, so we could get some game time in before we went to school or on a Saturday. And it was just a game that, you know, like I said, I remember a lot with. In fact, my collection now is bigger than the library that I had as a kid. Let's take, for instance, TNC Surf Design. This is a game that I remember as a kid. One of my best friends when I was 7, he brought this game over to my house, and I remember the good times that I had for a couple years. We've lost touch since, but I remember every time I pick this game up, I remember him, I remember his name, I remember what we did. I remember the afternoon we would play this, and then we went to a skating complex in my local area, and we would skate, and then we came back and we played this. It just brings back a lot of great memories of when I was a kid. Another game I know a lot of people may or may not have love for, and that's Bobble. Now, Bobble was a game I remember my brother and I getting up to level 236. We would play this over and over and over again and try to complete this game, which is kind of next to impossible because it just seems to keep going and going and going. But this was a game that brings back a lot of memories, at least for me. So I could sit here and go through each and every one of these cartridges, and one of the things that was spoken to me by other content creators, and they're not wrong, is today's day and age is not the time to be collecting for the NES because of the expense, the cost. Everything's gone up in price. I mean, you can come over and you can get 3DS games over here. Master System's another one hard to get for. You can come over here and you've got Wii U, we've got Wii, we've got GameCube, which I am picking up games for all these. But I'm collecting for 53 different consoles. So that is something not everybody's going to do. But my main focus has been on the NES. Now, I've never shown this before, but I have 2 Grails for the collection. I have a complete in box, and I have this in a plastic protector. Complete in box, Little Samson. Now, I didn't grow up with this game, but it is a game that is very hard to get. It is rare, and this is a game that I have in my collection. I also have another rare gem that a lot of people are on the lookout for, and that is Stadium Events. Now, Stadium Events is a game that is, well, I wouldn't say near and dear to me, but what it turned into is world-class track meet where you played on the power pad. This game was something that I know a lot of collectors have been looking and searching for. This has a very, very high price tag on it, and I just keep it in my collection. So 2 of my Grails I have. So one of the other ones that I need to get is Bonk's Adventure and the Flintstones. Those are ones I'm still on the lookout for, and then I'm going to add to the collection. I think I'm about 250 strong. I've got some in box. I've got some out there that are higher value, like the Zeldas, that are complete in box. But I'm predominantly not a complete in box collector, but if I have them, obviously I will. So, what's your favorite console that you're collecting for? And if you're collecting for it, why are you collecting for it? Do the games bring you some form of nostalgia? Does it bring you back to your childhood? What I'd like for you guys to do is get involved in this show. I want you to record yourself in a 2-minute video. You don't even have to be on camera. You could just kind of show your games. But tell us why you're collecting for the console and what your favorite games are and some of the reasons that they are your favorite games. Maybe it brings you back to a time in your life that was exciting. Put it up on Dropbox or Google Drive and send me a link. Either DM me on Twitter or X or whatever it's being called now. Send me an email, steve@ttbgaming.com. Instagram, Facebook. Look, there's many ways to get a hold of me. Put it out there. We want to showcase it on the show. If not on this show, at least with Console Wars. I want to be able to showcase your collection because I think it's interesting. And we're going to get into a little bit of a dialogue here as to why some of these guys are collecting what they're collecting. Guys, let's get it back to the studio.